Hello, people, and we're back, with another video. And today, we're gonna be looking at a preview and prediction for the Arsenal versus Wolves game. First Arsenal game of the Premier League season that is happening on Saturday. But before that, hit the subscribe button, man. Follow the ting. Join the community, man. Get involved because we're dropping daily content. Do you know what I mean? And while you're there, algorithm gang, get the video out there to all the lovely people in the world. Hit the like button, drop a comment, and let's get right into it. So, I'm going to be doing the preview and the prediction today. Reasons for it. I'm driving up to Birmingham tomorrow, entering a fighting game tournament, VSF, all of that, Street Fighter 6. So anyone watching this in the community, if you're a Street Fighter player, hit me up, man. I love to play some games. So yeah, I don't know what the schedule is going to be like tomorrow, so I'm not too sure when I'll be able to record. So I thought, let's get the preview and the prediction done all in the same video. So, where do we start? So, I think that coming off the back of the Emirates Cup, I think Arsenal were pretty strong in both games. And from what I saw, I believe that the players have the right level of fitness right now. There was a few players that I was a bit umming and ahhing about in terms of fitness, but they've all proved me wrong. The likes of Jorginho looked really fit. Partey looked really fit. And Calafiori coming in, not playing too many matches, he looked raring to go. So I think we're as prepared as what we could be. You know, it would have been good to have Marino before this game, so potentially we had another option, but I don't think we're gonna get Marino over the line before this game. Obviously, who knows what could happen on Friday? Could be crazy. Could see some transfer activity, but even if we did make something happen, I don't think that he would go right into the matchday squad. So we're gonna have to rely on the players that we have, and we have a lot of good players. Yeah, I think we definitely have enough to go out and get the win. It's at the Emirates, so our first game of the season is at home. I do believe that makes us favourites. I would say we're favourites to go on and win this game. And it would be great that the first game of the season, the fans get to sing North London Forever to spur on the lads, yeah? So, look, I think we're going to dominate them. I can't lie. I do think that we're going to dominate them. They've lost two of what I would have said was their best players in being Max Kilman and Pedro Neto, and they haven't really replaced them with good enough quality. Neto not even being replaced. And I thought, and I'll be real, I would have expected us to beat them with both of them players being there. Let's just keep it 100. Like, I just, it's Wolves, man. No disrespect. I mean, no disrespect, because they do play good football, and they have been playing good football under Gary O'Neill. But last few games of last season, they were a bit, leave it. They weren't. There was a bit leave it. So I don't think that there's anything that they can really do to us. But I also don't want to I don't want to jinx it. I feel like I could potentially be jinxing it. I need to be careful. I actually need to be careful, because boy, what I say now could come right back to shoot me in the foot, man. I can't lie. But look, I'm gonna go through what I think, our starting lineup could potentially be, and then I'll tell you why we're gonna smoke them as I'm going through. So in goal, David Raya. That's clear. That's just what it's gonna be, right? And then I think we're gonna go Ben White at right back, yeah, and then obviously Saliba and Gabriel in the centre back positions, and So I want Calafiori to start, but based upon pre-season, I think the Zinchenko's gonna start. I'll just keep it a buck. I'm based on what I've seen in the last two games from Zinchenko. I'm not too upset with him starting. I won't lie. If this was last season, I would have been vexed. But from what I've seen from him for the last few games, I'm not too concerned about it. Although I would prefer Calafiori because I think Calafiori makes us more defensively sound, and I do think he does offer attacking threat. Right. I still think it's a bit too early for Timber. I think he will be on the bench, but because he missed the last two games of preseason due to a foot problem, I don't think Arteta will rush him back into the squad, and I don't think there's any need to either, because defense is we definitely I don't have any lack in defense, right? So in the midfield, I think that we're gonna go with Partey and Rice with Erdegaard. I think that's what we're gonna go with, and let me just say it now: that midfield completely and utterly dominates Wolves midfield. I don't care what anybody says. Yeah, it's just leagues and levels above, right? It's just too much, way too much. And then obviously, I think we're gonna go Saka on the right. Do you know what? This is really hard. Because now that I'm thinking about it, is Arteta potentially gonna try out the Havertz midfield with Jesus up top in the first game of the season? He might just do that. He might just do that. Nah, he won't do that, surely. Nah, I don't think he'll do that. I don't think he'll do that. So Havertz up top. And you know what? You could potentially see Jesus left wing. As it stands right now, I'm not entirely sure if we will go. I'm not sure who's going to play on the left because everybody's got a shout, right? Like Trossard has been good in pre-season, but then you would say Trossard is someone who, at least from what we've seen in the Premier League, all the evidence that we have so far, he does a lot better coming off the bench. But I do think he's played well enough in pre-season, and he does look like he's there, he's ready to start this game. And then you could also say Martinelli. Martinelli hasn't had the preseason. The performances weren't as great, but I do feel like he could be a massive threat because he's just a threat, right? Like regardless of whether you think that he's amazing or not, like it's undeniable that he's got speed, he's direct, he does like to take on his man, he's capable of taking on his man, and he provides, I guess, the bit of pace that we miss from our front line. So then Martinelli could start, but then Jesus, like who I think has had a really good preseason, and I think the last few games of the Premier League last season, Arteta did play Jesus out on the left, so even he's an option. So I'm not too sure what we would actually go, but me personally, I would try Jesus out on the left. I can't lie, I would try Jesus. I would give Jesus. I want to see what happens when you have Zinchenko, Rice, and Jesus all on the left. I want to see what that looks like. So yeah, that's what I would go with. Not necessarily saying that we will go with that, but that is what I would like to see. And then obviously, I think Arteta has to do it, but put Miles Lewis Skelly and Ethan Wanyeri into the matchday squad. And potentially, depending on how the game goes, because let's just say, for example, we get to half time and we're 3-0 up. I'm not saying it will happen, but let's just say that's the case. I think you could be looking at like maybe the 60th minute goal. Go on Wanyeri, go on Skelly, get on the pitch, experience the Premier League. Because from that point, we shouldn't be losing, right? Like, and I don't think that I don't think Wolves is of the quality to really punish us for playing youth, and B, I don't think that Ethan Wanyeri or Miles Lewis Skelly will drop the quality of the squad. Like, they're young, but they're really good. So yeah, that's what I would like to see. In it, and obviously I want to see some minutes from Calafiori. I want to see it. Arteta, if you're watching this, don't let me down because I want to see it. And that's what I think we'll go with, right? Now, thinking about the Wolves squad, yeah. So I'm gonna look at their squad, yeah, and I'm just gonna, I don't know, cause look, like, they got Jose Sa. I think he's a pretty decent keeper, pretty solid keeper. They've got Ait Nouri, who I really like, and if we hadn't have signed Calafiori, I would have been like, yo, go in there and grab him. I could see him potentially go into like a Liverpool. I don't know why Man United are not in for him, because he would solve a lot of problems for them. Um, Santiago Bueno, not of the levels. Mosquera, not really of the levels. Craig Dawson. Craig Dawson, really? He's gonna get eaten alive, bro. Nelson Semedo, very fast, but defensively shocking. I can't lie. Defensively, he's shocking. And then they got their new signing, Pedro Lima. We haven't really seen much of him. Whether he will even start, and I don't know if he will start. He might get minutes, but do I fear him? Not really. Mario Lamina, good baller. I like him. Bit of a hothead at times, and that can cause problems, but he's decent. Boubacar Traore, not really of the levels. Joao Gomez, I like him. But midfield is where they're not going to be able to compete with Arsenal. I won't lie to you. So it actually doesn't really matter who I name, to be completely honest. Daniel Podence, meaty. I can't lie, meaty. Tommy Doyle, probably not going to play. Pablo Sarabia. You see Pablo Sarabia, yeah? For me, yeah, he's a Football Manager player. He's a player, yeah, that you would sign in Football Manager, but in real life, he's just not really good enough. Like, he's really good. Like, he's always really been good on Football Manager, but in real life, it just doesn't translate in it. And then they've got Bellegarde, he's decent. And then they've got Tawanda Chirera. I won't lie, don't know much about him. I assume he's a youngster. And they got Luke Condell, who's definitely a youngster. But listen, that midfield, like, it doesn't scream anything to me. I won't. It's very underwhelming. Maybe I'm being a bit too harsh, but it just is what it is, isn't it? And then they got some brother called Strand Larson, probably not gonna play. Huang Yi Chan, I like him. I like him a lot. The only thing is he's not really clinical, but everything else he's really good at. He's good speed, good technical ability, but just the clinicality, yeah, it's not really levels. Mateus Cunha, I like him, but again, he's not really the most clinical of player. Sasa Kala, I just can't say it. I'm gonna call him Sasa. Y'all know who I'm talking about. If you're a Wolves fan, you know who I'm talking about. Yeah, just not of the levels. Sorry. Rodrigo Gomez, no clue who you are. I'll be real. Gonzalo Guedes. Gonzalo Guedes. That's what you're called to me, bro. Again, yeah. He's a guy, yeah, sick on Football Manager. He was cold on Football Manager, but in real life, he's just not of the levels. I can't lie, he's just not of the levels. Enzo Gonzalez, some Paraguay brother, probably a new signing, not really gonna do much. Chiquinho, just like Nathan Fraser. Like, look, yeah. How do I say this without being rude? Yeah, they're just a mid-table team. Honestly, yeah, Arsenal have to be looking at this game as we win. Like, we should not be not winning this game. Like, a draw is not good enough. It's just not good enough at all. Do you know what? This is the energy this season. We have to win every game. A draw is not good enough at all. Like, don't get me wrong. There's certain teams that we play throughout the season. I'm gonna look at their teams and I'm gonna be like, okay, cool. I can see where the problems are, but here I can't really see where the problem is. I don't know. I'm not even trying to be rude. Like I just can't see where the problem is. I just think we overwhelmed them. I can't. Like, I can see us having a lot of the ball, a lot of the possession. I can see us being camped in their half for like 70 out of the 90 minutes of the game. Um, I can see us having not only the majority of the chances, but the majority of the big chances. I can see us peppering them. I can see Erdegaard having the absolute time of his life in the final third. I cannot lie. Um, I think that Saka is just like, yeah, their left back's gonna be just struggling, like proper struggle. Like, I don't get me wrong, Ait Nori is, again, he's really good on the ball, but I don't think he's someone that's that great defensively. Like his off the ball, I don't think is that great. I just think he's gonna get cooked by Saka. I can't lie. But I do feel there'll be moments in the game where he's cooking as well. He does like to drift into midfield and he does like to play a bit with the ball. So I give him his props. But I don't know, man. And then, okay, hear me out. Yeah, hear me out. This is what okay. What the hell is Mateus Cunha, yeah, and Huang Hee Chan going to do, yeah, to Saliba and Gabriel? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely goddamn nothing. They're just not gonna do anything at all. Like they're without. I say this respectfully. I say this respectfully. They're gonna be in the pockets the whole game. The whole game. I'll be surprised if they even get more than 10 touches each on the ball. I'll be so real. Do you know what? This game is going to be domination. Absolute domination, people. I'm not too sure about scoreline. I am going to give a prediction. I usually wait until I actually see the starting lineups to give predictions, but I don't think the starting lineup is going to be too far off what I said. From a Wolves perspective, I'm not entirely sure. I could guess like the majority of their lineup, but maybe Gary O'Neill's trying something new, maybe new formation, who knows. But just based off of, I guess, the information that I have right now and what I know right now, I think that we'll probably. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with 3-0. I said it. I think we're gonna win our first game of the season 3-0 at the carpet, in front of the fans, and it's gonna be a spectacle. It's gonna be great, and it's gonna be a beautiful first game of the season. So yeah, these are just some of my thoughts, at least early thoughts, on the game. I mean, as we get closer to the game, maybe I might do another video if anything else comes up, but like I'm gonna be pretty busy over the weekend, so I might drop some shorts. I may be able to do a video or so while I'm at the hotel, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'd be really interested to know what you think is going to happen in Arsenal's first game of the season. Comments below. Do you think I'm being a bit too optimistic? Am I being a bit too gassed? Am I being too rude? Are Wolves gonna do a lot better than I think? Who knows? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. But if you know, just let me know in the comments below. Like the video. Come on, man. If you somehow made it this far, the least that you can do is before you go, just like the video and hit the subscribe because we're trying to grow. Do you know what I mean? It's been a pleasure, and I hope y'all enjoy the first game week of the Premier League because we're back, baby.